Welcome back to Cover Decoder, folks. Woo! The show where we flip the light of truth on only to glimpse the cover as it disappears around the corner. And you have found yourself at another episode of Halloween Essentials. That's right. And on my right with me, as always, doing the zombie dance with Michael Jackson is the Tape Finder General. And doing the voiceover over the music like Vincent Price is the Brengineer.
Yes.
Holding the keys to the Pistachio Castle. And I am Inks, and it is time to hear my Halloween essentials.
That's right, folks. Get your Jeep, get your big tarp, and get ready to shoot some anonymous thing in the woods and call it a creature.
That's right.
We're going hunting.
So if you want to see my Halloween essentials, you want to follow along with the episode, you can follow along at coverdecoder.com. You will see a link to the slides that we are going to be looking at tonight. And
it'll have a shotgun and a jug of whiskey and a cryptid on it.
I only drink Coors on hunting trips. Only Coors.
Yeah,
that's nothing else.
That's right. Most of the time, I'm a Bud Light man. I'm a Budweiser man.
That's right. Get your pistachio and Weiser.
Oh, yeah. Your BL pistachio?
That's right. BL pistachio.
Bud Light pistachio.
Halloween edition.
Bro, Ronnie brought Bud Light pistachio today.
Very
nice,
limited.
Ronnie.
Very limited. Ooh,
limited edition.
A little spooky in every sip, yeah.
Just in time for Halloween. That's right, folks. If you don't know, we're trying to change the flavor of fall from pumpkin to pistachio. Pistachio is the new pumpkin. We're going to be carving pistachios next year.
Get rid of the orange. Get rid of the orange. Bring in the green.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
if you love your girlfriend, you can give her a pistachio necklace.
All right, so I'm going to start this show out talking about. I'm gonna start talking about how.
Oh shit! He's drunk already.
I know. I just want to tell all you motherfuckers out there.
The moon is full and he is rearing to go.
Yeah, I love y'all to death, man. You could take that to bank. So in a previous episode, Brengineer referred to me as a country boy because I have to be fed metal music with a spoon, and.
That's right.
I don't really think of myself as a country boy. I didn't think of myself as a country boy, at least compared to the folk that I lived around and the kin of mine in Texas.
The kin?
The
fact that you use folk and kin just really just says it all.
So is this
right
is this the redemption episode where you prove us wrong?
I didn't think myself a country person until I moved up here to the Northwest. And I found myself getting questions like, do you fry everything? And, people walking their Shih Tzus around the city pond as I come stomping out barefooted after catching minnows with my son. I found that
minnows.
I found that a country boy I might be. And in Brengineer's Halloween Essentials, he had the scary stories to tell in the dark. And one of the stories was the big toe. And I had brought up in the South, it was called the Talipo. Or in the Appalachian Mountains, it was called the Talipo. But if you look at the first slide, you're going to get some more of that flavor.
Was this your camping trip last October?
This is a good time right here.
So what we're looking at here, folks, is we've got just the silhouettes of trees. These are dead trees rising up.
This is a river bottom
out of a river and some sort of swamp, a swampy river, and with the sun setting in the back. It's very 70s. Very Octobery, very southerny.
Very,
it's all there.
That's right.
Very delicious. This kind of landscape is where I grew up. I am from Texas, but Texas is big. There's a bunch of different parts to it. I grew up in the swamp. Now, have any of you guys have you ever been caught in the woods as it's getting dark?
Well, yeah, but usually I just walk into my camper and turn on the Blu-ray player.
Oh, geez.
And
oh my God.
I watch some nature shows. And
all right, here we go.
Make myself a pumpkin spice latte.
That's pistachio. Pistachio's the new pumpkin. Pistachio's in, pumpkin out, pistachio in.
Pistachio latte.
Yeah, I've been caught in the woods a couple times as it's getting dark, and these it's happened to me a couple times up here in the Northwest in the big woods. And yeah, these beautiful, majestic, friendly woods that you were just walking through suddenly become a veritable buffet of shadows, which could conceal unknown creatures around any corner. Mm-hmm. Now, my first cover is Legend of Boggy Creek.
Ooh, yes.
Look at that. Look at that poster.
Otherwise known as Chariots of Fire for Cro-Magnons.
Now, I saw this movie at my grandparents' place. It was a shack of a place that was probably maybe 1,000 square feet tops, but wood everywhere on the ceiling, on the floors. The walls were wood. And
this is the perfect horror movie setup. This is perfect.
And this movie come on, and this movie is from 1972. It was produced by a Charles B. Pierce, and
ooh, it's G-rated.
And it's G-rated. And one of these fellers here is going to explain to you what the cover and poster look like.
All right. Well, first of all, there's a term we use in Cover Decoder. That term is cummy. Cummy. Now, this...
Not with a K, with a C.
With a C.
That's right.
That describes just anything that when you touch it, you may want to wash your hands after you've done so.
Yes.
Usually this thing
after you've been in the bins at Goodwill.
Yep.
It will crumble like a vampire exposed to light.
It's got residue of stickers on it. It's a lot of wear.
That's right.
A lot of yellow.
Essence of Margaret.
Essence of Margaret smell. That kind of thing. So what I'm looking at is, I'll just describe the VHS box. I have a lovely unfolded VHS box of this. The very essence of, if this was a Cover Decoder Chinese restaurant, I call it Essence of Communist.
Essence of Communist.
And, a lot of yellow. Essentially, you have the silhouette of the creature. The Bigfoot, the Bigfoot creature in silhouette running across a creek or a shallow body of water with just a wall of silhouetted trees set against a sun. Now, it looks like this is the images between this and the poster are almost identical, but it almost looks like it was redone because the poster, where the other one is, piss yellow, this one is these beautiful, lush oranges. Mm-hmm. The background's almost photorealistic. It's still got that wall of silhouetted trees and the sun coming down behind some clouds, and then you have the creature. Its hairs, it's a big hairy creature. Its hair is lit up from the back by the sun. The water is splashing golden around his feet as it shambles.
You don't want this thing running at you. This is inks after a full rack.
Yeah,
just running through the water.
Yeah, he's swaying. Yeah, he's swaying like me after a margarita and half a Bud Light Lime. It doesn't take much to get that sway for me going. But yeah.
Now, real quick, Brengineer forgot to say something very important about this VHS cover. Down in the corner, for some reason, there is an Academy Award statue. There is an Oscar.
If you believe it, you can achieve it.
I feel like they were trying to catch people off guard, like they were walking through the movie section. They were going to skip this, but then they went, "Oh wait, is that an Oscar? This must have won an Oscar. I've got to take this home." There is no way this movie won any sort of award.
Well, you can have a terrible movie and still win an Oscar. For example, remember that movie Click with Adam Sandler?
That won an Oscar?
That was nominated for Best Effects. You can have a terrible movie but still win an Oscar for good effects. I just want to add, the main thing about these posters, or this image, is that while Tapes was talking about how sinister it looks, I got the opposite feeling. I feel bad for this thing. Like, it's being chased.
Yeah.
The thing that's most... The thing that's most effective about this cover, this poster, is that you are left to wonder: is this thing coming at you, or is it running from something?
Yeah, for me, the creature that's swaying in the river bottom there kind of is this position signifies torment. This is a tormented creature. This is not a happy thing. This isn't a Bigfoot that's frolicking in the woods and braiding his butt hair. And
his wife left him.
That's right. I'm gonna show her.
Shoot the beast.
She's gonna want me back after I get these abs. Yeah. So, and there's a disappointing absence of dong.
There is not enough penis in this cover for sure.
The reason why I like this cover and it's an essential for me is it ticks all the boxes as far as Inxian, because it gives you the mood and the feeling of the movie without showing you everything. You get the silhouette of the creature, you get the menace, you get the torment, but you don't get the play-by-play. You don't get everyone's
high color contrast
face.
Check.
You don't see scenes.
Nope.
Yeah.
Creature check.
And
furthermore,
the back of the VHS has 0 photos. You have
Zero.
no idea what's going on in this movie.
Okay, now, here's my problem. Here's my problem with that. I don't mind if the images are obscure, but when there are no images on the back of a box, it makes me think this is from your public library. Your teacher is playing this for you. It's a documentary. It doesn't feel like a real movie to me. That's my problem with no pictures on the back.
I guess I should ask, is this a real movie?
The problem here is this is a super low budget movie. It's a super low budget movie, and it is shot as a quasi documentary. It's like a documentary. It's like a dramatic documentary. Think Blair Witch Project kind of a thing, where it's got the reenactments of different things that happened, but they actually filmed actual people living in the town of Fouke, Arkansas. Fouke, Arkansas is where this creature was said to roam and torment the townsfolk during a short period of a couple of years, I believe. And yeah, so when they went in and filmed this movie, they went to Fouke and they talked to the actual people.
Interesting.
Yeah, so super low budget, but it actually did pretty well in the box office, and it started that whole trend of hairy, low budget monster movies
Dongless
that were
monsters.
kind of shot as a documentary. So you can thank this movie for such greats as Blair Witch 3, The Witchening, and
I don't know if we would say greats in the same sentence, but
so this movie was really frightening for me as a child, because I saw images of places that I lived around. I heard noises that I had heard in the night, and it was shot as a documentary, as if this was a real thing, as if this actually went on. And for a lot of people who lived in Fouke, it was a real thing.
It does say a true story on the bottom of the poster. It says The Legend of Boggy Creek in awesome font. A true story.
A true story. This really
this
happened.
is cool too, Ink. So this is why you love monsters, dude. Because
that's why I love monsters.
You have
I love creatures.
Out in the woods, you know. So folks, if you've actually gone out in the woods and you've been completely alone, it can be pretty spooky. You hear
especially
things.
when it's dark.
especially when it's dark, your eyes play tricks on you. So it makes sense. Inks, you spent a lot of time obviously doing that as a kid, and that's what resonated with you. So it's cool seeing this is your own private little horror.
Yeah, we lived on nearly an acre's worth of land, and we had like a big pear tree in the back and a pond. It was a great place to grow up. But we lived next to a cow pasture, and during the day, the cow pasture was great. There was horses that would come over. I'd feed them pears from the pear tree and grass and stuff like that. But at night, you would hear the cows, and the cows don't go moo, 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 moo. No, they go... and they sounded
fucking at night. They wait till night to wake you up with their sex noises.
Yeah, they sound like they're using the industrial sized flumpkins in the middle of the night, and
unless maybe that was the Boggy Creek monster inseminating them.
There has been
my wife is gone. I have no choice.
Now, I don't stop here. I listen to a lot of Bigfoot stuff, and there are stories of cows with handprints on their ass in the morning. But that's another story.
No, it's impossible.
One of the cool things about this creature, too, that's weird and a little bit different from a normal Bigfoot, is that it is said to have a footprint with 3 toes. So that's kind of a different thing.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I always imagined that he had lost one of his toes and was like stumbling through the river bottom, just pissed off to all hell. And again, this was released August 23rd, 1972. Now, if you go down, I've got a zoomed in look at the monster. And then I've also got a little map here to show you the trail in which the monster could actually walk all the way from Fouke to my backyard that I imagined as a kid. Now
it goes deeper.
I say Fouke, Arkansas, and you can see Arkansas up here. It's on the very corner of Arkansas, right near Texas. So it's almost Texas. And the creature would only have to walk a mere 338 miles to come and eat my pears and strangle me in the night. Down here at the coastal swamp. And I just wanted you guys to know that the fear was real. Now, the movie itself is not the greatest. It's very low budget. Yes.
I got a quick question about now this creature. Now, here it says it would take 110 hours for a man to walk those 308 miles. How long does this creature shamble? At the same rate as a man walks.
No, brother, he's got that pissed off, toe missing strength.
He's a magical beast.
That loping run.
Okay?
Does it jump onto a UFO and just sort of zoom over there? Like, what's going on there?
Look, this monster doesn't have a job. It doesn't have a family. All it has to do is scare the shit out of me. That's its full-time job.
The thought of Ink's pears and the moist cows waiting for it were enough to have him come running.
Now, the movie's not
that moist. Come on.
Yeah. It's that mucus.
Hey, after a while, the cows wanted it. All right.
It's all that mucus. So the movie's not great. The guy, the monster is portrayed by a man in a very poorly designed gorilla suit. I understand that. I get it.
No, because look at the creature. The creature has a hole for a face.
The creature's amazing. Now you guys can go look at the trailer on YouTube. And you can actually rent the movie for $4 on YouTube, and I suggest that you do that. It used to be free, but the
$4.
daughter... Yeah, the daughter of Charles B. Pierce just recently got the rights to the movie. Yeah, hey, it won the Blue Ribbon, Arkansas's favorite Pix Award.
It won the Falke Award.
Yeah, the Falkian film festival. One of the things that scared me that they did in the film that they would have this big shadowy creature in the back of the woods just kind of swaying, and it would make the noises. And they knew that their suit sucked, so they would leave them back in the woods. And that to me was scarier than actually seeing the creature. By the time you saw it, it wasn't a powerful feeling like it was. But right. I say that to say that the cover is better than the movie. Sometimes that happens. It happens a lot with B movies. Yep. You see that like Attack of the Giant Tarantula. The giant tarantula looks looks awesome in the cover, but when you see the movie, you realize that it's a bunch of pipe cleaners and googly eyes.
That's right.
Now, I got a shock when I found out who painted this poster. If you scroll down to the next slide, you will see the painter, the artist of this poster is Bilbo Baggins. After he went to stay with the elves, that was his book was not the only thing he worked on. No, actually, I have a picture pulled up.
He looks so excited that you discovered him. He's like,
I know.
He looks like one of those. He looks like one of those top dollar Halloween masks that you buy that you just pull over your head and you tuck the neck into your shirt and you just look like an old man.
Well,
Ralph McQuarrie is
we're
a
of course
Halloween
making
mask.
fun of Ralph McQuarrie, and if you know that name, you'll know that it's synonymous with Star Wars.
Star Wars, absolutely.
He did
Wars.
the concept art for the Star Wars movie, the first Star Wars movie, and he kind of helped create that whole aesthetic. But I had no idea that he had done the poster for Legend of Boggy Creek. He had actually been commissioned by Ronald Pierce, and then later on, Charles Pierce, and then later on did posters for some of his other movies. But
now, let me tell you, without this guy, Star Wars would have been another Boggy Creek. It would have been another low-budget disaster in some bargain bin with no pictures on the back, with a fake Oscar on the cover. Because this guy,
cow sex noises.
That's right.
Yeah.
This guy is literally responsible for all the things you see in Star Wars.
This is amazing. I've never heard of this guy. Boys.
Yeah.
Never.
You can see in his art here. I just got one painting pulled up. But you can see kind of all of the elements. You can see the droids over on the left. I picked this one because it's got some furry critters in it, and I wanted to kind of show the relationship between the furry critters that he's good at doing.
I love the weird owl. There's like a little horned owl guy that you don't see in the movie. Like
it's a little owl bear cub.
It's the idea of the space western. They're about to have a freaking duel with like this demon creature. It's so imaginative.
It's about to go down. Yeah, that might actually be Han Solo, because Han Solo was originally a alien. And he's
really?
Got his thick, girthy tail hanging down there. But Ralph's kind of a cool guy. He served in the Korean War, and then after that, he moved to California to attend an art school in the late 1960s. So by that time, because he was born in 1929, he was close to he was probably like 31 or more. And so he kind of started late in his art career, if you think about it. He wasn't this young prodigy. He went to work. He came back from the war and said, I want to be an artist. And he started doing the guidebooks and plans and model paintings for Boeing. And that's kind of how he got discovered for Star Wars, because he could do some spaceships.
That's awesome.
Like that. Yeah.
Well, he does creatures great, too.
Yeah, he does creatures great. And he's really good with light and setting the mood. And he does that with oil and airbrush.
That's
airbrush.
Right, folks.
Oil and airbrush.
We found another great airbrusher. Look at that. I was going to say, what's really interesting about his art is the tones are actually really muted. They're not super vibrant, but he's able to have these certain aspects of color in there that really draw out the color and make it really vibrant.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
He's good at doing that lived-in world.
Yeah,
absolutely.
He's familiar with the Cummy palette.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got his Decoder Cummy palette for sure, all set up.
That's right, folks. So you should get some Bud Light limes, maybe make some margaritas, and you should sit down and watch
limes.
This true story. This true story about the Falk monster, Legend of Boggy Creek. There was a Legend of Boggy Creek 2. I did not see that movie, but the poster for it's pretty cool. It's got another creature with a baby creature following behind it. Also done by Ralph McQuarrie. Very similar to the one that you see here. Now, there's not just big hairy creatures in the woods.
Oh,
There's all
no.
kinds of dangers that lurk in them trees, and sometimes those dangers lurk above the trees. And my parents didn't usually let me watch scary stuff. Now, this isn't because they were super conservative. It's because I'm the kind of kid that has an active imagination that if you showed me a scary movie, I would be sitting out on the porch with a shotgun all night. Because I know
That's awesome.
that Boggy Creek creature is going to show his son of a bitch face any moment to try and rape my cows.
I just got a new cow, and that's my favorite. Damn it.
And one of the other things that I saw at my grandparents' was an episode of Unsolved Mysteries where they had the guys from the Alabash Wilderness incident on, and the Alabash Wilderness UFO sighting was stuck in my mind. And these guys went on a camping trip, and they got picked up in a flying saucer as they were crossing the lake on this little canoe. And it just so happens that all four of these guys were art students, and so they were able to then later draw what actually happened to them in
art students.
Yeah, in their encounter. And those images stuck with me and gave me this deep fear of being pulled up by aliens while I was camping out in the woods or alone in the woods.
Yeah, you don't know what those aliens are going to do in that ship. It could be nice. It could be bad.
It could be real bad. And this eventually led me to the movie Fire in the Sky.
Oh, no.
What a
no.
gem. What a gem.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this movie needs to come with a disclaimer. Because I watched this movie.
Good movie.
And I was expecting some things. And here's what you don't realize. You have to wait an hour and 30 minutes. You have to wait through people wearing funky hats on their head. And you have to wait through town hood drama. And you have to wait through people trying to mumble their way through coherent speech. There's a better down to town, a better get a better. Hey, the better get a better. Just to get to an amazing 14 minutes of alien probing.
Oh, man.
That's the disclaimer.
But that is a worthy 14 minutes to wait for.
It is. It is.
Oh, it is some
a
alien bondage
concentrated
stuff, for sure.
Black tar heroin of an alien experience. And how does the movie begin? One of my favorite parts of the movie is the beginning, because it begins. You're just sitting there and it's like a road. You're just looking at this empty road. And then all of a sudden, this old pickup comes roaring down the road, jumping over bumps, slamming into stuff, and the guys are going, ha, ha, like they're Wayne who just saw the Terminator T-1000, T-2000. Yeah. And they are hauling ass down that road because they just saw something. And that something is depicted here on the cover.
Great cover.
Great cover. Now, why don't you explain
effective cover?
Why don't you explain what's going on our Fire in the Sky VHS cover here?
So we have, first of all, the cover is better than the film. I like the film, but the cover is misleading because I am expecting a massive alien journey, and it's a sandwich. Really cool in the beginning, really cool at the end, and then a lot of vegan patty. But that aside, let's talk about the cover. We have this amazing forest, and kind of dissecting the sides. And in the top corner is a lance. It is a lance of blue, green, yellow light shooting down, hitting a guy doing the Shawshank Redemption, going, I'm covered in poo. He's throwing himself back. The beam is honing in right on his boner, getting ready to suck him into space. And the trees are flying around. And up in the corner, you have Fire in the Sky, and actually a really effective type font lettering with yellow lines and the little flavor text underneath. The side is beautifully displayed with, again, a close-up pic of said guy doing Shawshank poo dance. And then the back, again, it's cool because they use the same font. They just layer it out differently. But the back has the description of the, we're talking about the VHS box here, the description of the movie, and then my favorite, it's got 3 little flavor boxes, Boggy Creek, listen up, and it's got one of said mouth-breathing mumblers, and then a picture of the Boyce, and then a picture of said alien bondage in the center.
But you can't really tell. You can't really tell what's going on there. Like, is he laying in a bed? Like, what's going on there?
You're right.
You don't know. You're left to wonder. The only thing that really takes this one away from me is, listen, 90s people. I'm speaking to you from the future. No one likes your cheesy lens flares. Get your cheesy lens flares out of my covers.
You know what? It works. It works in this one for me.
This is Windows 95 drag and drop lens flares, and I say no. I say no.
But the lance of light.
But it is an effective cover, and honestly, folks, if you have not seen this film, you need the vegan patty. The vegan patty is what makes the scene so interesting because it's the town looking for the guy. It's his friends all under suspicion because the town thinks they did something to him because no one believes that it was an alien abduction.
Did he run away?
Did he run away? What happened? And then finally, you see what happened to him. It's the most. I can't think of any. I've seen a lot of films about aliens. There's no abduction scene that's quite as effective as this particular abduction. The aliens are
it is the best
done.
Abduction scene.
When I first saw it, like I couldn't believe it was like a 90s thing. The aliens are so real. It's all practical effect. It's extremely disturbing. Hats off to this one. Hats off for sure.
I'm just saying the movie would have been better if halfway through he had gone home, his wife had forgiven him, he was getting ready to go to the bone zone, and then you just see her finger come up and a little thing comes out and she tries to probe him and he goes, no! And he rips her face off and it's one of the aliens. And then he finds out the whole town is aliens. And then
it turns out this wasn't Fire in the Sky at all. It was actually a Scooby-Doo episode.
Yeah. And it would have gotten away with it too.
They would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for your penis finger.
Action, explosions.
Well, folks, if you want to fund Tapes' very own low budget alien movie,
porno.
I married an alien robot. You can do that online at his GoFundMe. But I will tell you, this movie was made in the 90s. It was released March 12th, 1993. It was directed by Robert Lieberman, and the screenplay was by Tracy Torm. Now, I bring up Tracy Torm because the original story that Travis Walton told is not the story that shows up on the screen. Now, it does say on the VHS based on a true story, but after they read Travis Walton's original encounter, they thought it was a little boring. They thought it was a little... The menace wasn't there. So they turned it over to Tracy. They said, Tracy, we need that fire. We need that sauce. What if after he's banging his wife and he takes her face off and she's a robot underneath? and Tracy Torm took Travis Walton's story and added the menace to it. And the alien scene got a lot more disturbing. And folks, again, you got to check it out just for that 14 minutes of goodness. The alien ship is not what you expect. It's not that clean metal. These guys are keeping their ship like a gym bathroom, like when you get out of the pool and you go into the dressing room,
living in a bathroom stall.
It's dirty.
It's
their
gross.
Their abductees are like forgotten about and like rotting and festering in like raccoons. And
they just throw their space food on the ground.
They all look like your grandpa's ball sack on a body.
Imagine being abducted and waking up in a men's locker room. That's where these aliens live.
Yes.
The movie starred D.B. Sweeney, which he did a few other movies. I didn't really haven't seen him in a whole bunch, but when I was researching for the show here, I found out that he does the voice of Grown-Up Aang in Avatar. So if you're an Avatar fan, which we are, that's Grown-Up Aang.
Plus,
got abducted by aliens.
Ding, ding.
And then Robert Patrick, who was the T-1000 liquid metal Terminator. But he makes a fantastic redneck lumberjack. Now, this story is about redneck lumberjacks encountering aliens in the woods. And Robert Patrick
Hence the incomprehensible dialect that they speak throughout the film.
Well, he's seen something. He's seen something. I don't know what he's seen, but I'm going to tell you something. He's seen something. And also Henry Thomas, who was Elliot in E.T. He gets to play the super scared moonface kid.
Because he's not allowed to be in anything that doesn't have a weird wrinkly finger.
That's right. Until he became one himself.
That's right.
And this cover, I thought it was a still from the movie. And after watching the movie again, I think it is a still from the movie that's been enhanced. Yeah, they took it into Microsoft 93 Photoshop, and they added the lance of light, which I think is well done. Again, a tool is a tool. Just because it's digital doesn't mean it's bad. It can be used well.
It just has to be done well, like this.
Yes. Now, this iconic beam from the sky
minus the lens
did
flares.
not start with this movie. If you go to the next slide, you will see Travis Walton himself. Which I think if they're going to reboot this movie, he should be played by Rhys Darby.
Oh, yeah. There was just a little alien there, and it
I'm just out. I'm a lumberjack out here in Arizona. But yeah, Travis Walton right there. A photo of him and his book, The Walton Experience. Now,
did he do the cover on this as well?
Well, the movie.
I just thought I'd give it a shot. I just do the cover myself.
Get out my paintings and see what I come up with.
I think.
I think the aliens gave me some artistic ability because I couldn't do that before.
That's right.
No, so the movie was based on this book, and the cover is absolutely based on this book. And I had trouble finding the artist of this cover for you folks. I really wanted to figure out who did this cover because they started this whole iconic beam of light coming down from the UFO. And
well, they're in the spaceship now.
Yeah.
They took the artist because they said you did a horrible job depicting our spaceship. So now we're going to put our fingers in you until you die.
Come on, guys. You're just going to take our artist now?
You can't fuck up our UFOs like that.
Yeah, he's going to depict the paintings.
Put the tubes in his eyes.
The best that I could do was I found a copy on eBay selling for like $80. And I'm going to tell you folks, podcasting is not the lucrative business you may think it is. So we did not get the book, but they had a photo of the interior of the book, and you can see cover and interior illustrations, copyright to, and then the page folds over, and then you can see
very good work there, Detective
continued
Inks.
on the second line. You see Rogers, so it's a something Rogers. Now, the fella that Travis was working for was Mike Rogers, so I don't know if he's involved in the artwork in this, but someone Rogers, you killed it. You did a great job, I think, on the Walton Experience.
It looks.
I'm sorry, you're in space.
It's amazing how the Arizona in Arizona they like to vacuum and sweep the floors of their forest. It's just a very clean.
I thought that was sort of a mist.
Yeah, we like to mow and vacuum every day to make sure that there's no forest fires.
Yeah, you don't want to have stuff just lying around for when the aliens show up.
Aliens are very clean. They're very clean.
Yeah, I think that's mist, but yes, there are forests in Arizona. If you don't believe it, you can look on a map. You'll see a mountain range going from Arizona.
I just think it's interesting how there was literally nothing on the ground. There was
it's like they ran out of time.
There's like a knobby like fallen tree there, and then there's just a flat brown, and then some really acid green trees in the background.
Oh my God, they've turned the floor into chocolate pudding. Not pudding floor.
The floor is
pudding. Tell us about the ship. Tell us about the ship.
The ship looks like shit.
You guys don't like this cover?
No.
I'm not a fan, no. Okay, first of all, besides the chocolate pudding floor and the acid green trees... can we talk about the beam of light? It's airbrush.
It is airbrush.
It is
But
bad airbrush.
I love that and I love that Travis is doing the Street Fighter fatality thing. As he's falling backwards.
I don't hate the cover. It's just it's just kind of it's just kind of it's a UFO.
I would have picked this up. I would have picked this up as a representation of a bad cover.
Really? Well,
absolutely.
I'm going to say good job, Something Rogers, because it may not be the best executed cover, but it has all the right elements, and you started the Lance of Light
That's right.
imagery. And so
thank you for your pudding floors and for your bad airbrush and for your
and Travis Walton
salsa.
is a cute little man with a huge mustache. If
he
I was
does not
flying
look like
around
he
in a
was vacuum
spaceship, I
sealed.
would have scooped him up so quick.
He doesn't look like a man who is sucked into a womb with a vacuum cleaner, poked in the eyeballs, and scooped.
The most alien thing about this man, or supernatural thing about this man, is his hair. Clearly, those aliens did something nice for him and just stapled that mop on there. That is just a comb over of perfection.
Yeah.
Well done.
Well, I think Rhys Darby, you are the obvious pick for the next Travis Walton film. If you go down to one more slide, we again have the beam of light, the lance of light imagery, and this was done for the recent
2000s video game cover.
Yeah, this was done for the recent documentary on, I think it's Amazon Prime. It's it's just simply called Travis, the true story of Travis Walton, and it's
Inks,
got.
Can I confess something to you? Can I? I need to say something to you.
I mean, this is Halloween Essentials.
And folks, this is for you too, and all you alien lovers out there. I hate flying saucers.
What?
Flying saucers to me are the dumbest representation, the most unscary, non-supernatural image of a spaceship. Yep. I'm sorry. May you nerds have forgiveness of my soul. I cannot stand flying saucers.
I like flying saucers.
All right, well, that's the end of the fucking show. Make sure to be careful as you go by the cow pastures. The cows may be using flumpkins and be very distraught and dangerous. We'll see you next week. Back to you,
folks,
fuckers.
If you don't hear about me, that's because Inks zipped me up in a Ziploc bag and waterboarded me for about 10 hours.
Made you into a space hot pocket.
I like flying saucers, and
I don't the shape
in a pulpy way. In a pulpy way, it works. It works in certain things. I don't really care for grays that much and that style of alien. Like, I'm a xenomorph kind of guy. I'm a Star Trek kind of guy.
Man.
I like cool Klingon ships. And I like
mandibles.
A saucer's is kind of like it's just if it's low.
You could have tried harder.
It feels
you could have tried harder,
energy.
Jimmy.
But remember.
Well,
these people think they were actually abducted by these things, by these flying plates.
Because they were. It's a true story, Bridgeneer.
No, they think it's a true story.
You got to be careful. You got to be careful. Because
I'm just saying, even loggers will do drugs.
So in his encounter, Travis Walton he woke up distraught, clocked one of the Greys in the face, went running down the hall like a monkey. Just
okay. Now this sounds like my version of the movie.
So
and then I kicked one in the nuts,
original story goes that
Travis
Travis goes up to the ship, gets blasted, wakes up on the ship. He's hurting all over. Greys are working on him. He goes, my legs! And he clocks a couple of them, goes running down the hall, ends up in this star room in which he can see all the stars all around him in this wall. It's like a navigation room. And he's just hiding in there. He doesn't want to touch anything because he's afraid he's going to blow up the ship. And then finally, this mandroid humanoid thing that looks like a man comes in and is just smiling at him, doesn't really speak, but brings him down the hall and into a hangar where there's more of these ships, more of these beautiful, scary UFOs, flying saucers, and then they take him into
Drawn
another
by your
room.
nephew.
And they finally get him on the table, and he sees other humans around him. Again, they can't really speak, and they put him on the table. And the next thing you know, they put something over his mouth. He goes out cold, and then he wakes up on a road.
Why is he running from the other ones? And then suddenly he decides, well, these ones are going to be nicer to me because the mandroid helped me out.
I mean, there might be a little bit of space.
Did it give him a plate of cookies?
There might be a little bit of spacism going on.
These are
that's
flucal
space
gorks.
racism.
We thought they would make you feel better. They're filled with what you humans call
Get off me, you
opioids.
freak! Don't touch me! It's not over. Yeah. So,
That's what I didn't like
later
about
on
the
in
movie.
life, he thinks that what happened was he got too close to the spaceship, like he does in the movie, and he got blasted with radiation, and his body was damaged, and so they were like, oh no, another one got too close to the ship. Get the monkey on the ship so we can fix him and put him back like nothing happened. And
So he changed his story because he had time. He had time to think about it.
Well, he was traumatized.
His royalty checks stopped coming in, and he said,
new
"You know what?
material.
I need a video game. I need a movie."
No, his genitals were being patted down by space aliens, and he was,
What's wrong with that?
he was a little bit freaked out. But
There's nothing freaky about
he's
getting milked by
matured
something
over
with
time.
3 fingers. Okay, many people would pay
That's
good
very
money for
freaky. Yeah, not without my consent. But, well, okay, folks, so the last fucking cover here, if you even want to look at it, it's got a stupid flying saucer and another beam of light as it's pulling Travis up.
Getting
It's a really
jerked
well
off by
done painting
aliens.
by Claudio Bergman. It's really cool, and most people like it except for
that. Or is
my
this a
co-host.
painting?
This is a painting. He does some really cool. If you want to go to his website, I've got
Is
a
it
link
digital
there.
painting?
He does some really cool cryptid paintings, and he even has a Boggy Creek monster on there. So you folks can look at it. So full circle. So those are my picks for tonight. 2 probably maybe true stories of real events happening out in the woods that. As a
Couple of boys
as a young
drinking,
country boy
getting abducted,
living out there.
getting fondled.
Yeah, that's right.
Having
Cow
out with a
sex
livestock?
noises.
Getting it on with a flumpkin-shaped alien.
Yeah, that's right. Well, folks, there's nothing scarier than
This is amazing.
Yeah, not being
This is
in
your
control,
childhood.
being the prey. And for me, these 2 movies, they may not be the greatest movies, but these covers are solid covers, and they have stuck with me from my young country boy days to my fully developed city boy adulthood here.
Great
And
picks, Inks.
And
Great
that's
picks. And I gotta say,
that's what good covers should do. They should
Yeah.
take you back to when you first saw them, and they should have leave an imprint on you in some way. And I will definitely say I passed by the Fire in the Sky cover many a times as a young child, intrigued, but never took it home until later in life.
oh yeah, folks. All joking aside, Fire in the Sky is a great movie.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Especially for me, the tape mistress isn't a huge horror fan, so actually that movie was a perfect gateway because it has just enough kind of spooky stuff in the beginning and the end, with enough bleed in the middle to make it fine for her viewing as well. So maybe you have someone like that. Your kids, totally show this to your kids. It's fine. They love it.
My wife introduced me to this one, and she just puts it on when she just needs some background. Some background.
Sometimes you
horror.
don't need to see a man's heart ripped out of his chest and then stuffed in his
No.
mouth. Sometimes you
just
just need
need
to see an alien probe someone.
Yeah,
Lightly,
or to accidentally like trip into a human compost pile.
That's right.
That's
That
right.
happens.
That's right.
Yikes. Well, thank you all once again for being a part of this cover journey as we go forth and uncover the mystery behind the awesome covers. And the world is full of awesome covers, ladies and gentlemen.
And
That's
aliens and Bigfoots.
And Bigfoot and other creepy and crawlies. Our website is coverdecoder.com. If you have questions, comments, or covers for us, please send them to coverdecoder@gmail.com.
We have our Patreon up.
Ooh.
So please check that out. Remember, if you want our final
Patreon.
pick, if you want Ink's, if you want Ink's final pick, if you want Brengineer's final pick, if you want my final pick, it's on Patreon. You got to check it out.
Yeah.
Gotta
it could
go
be
to
pistachios. It could be
Patreon.
cryptids. It could be all that stuff. It could be flumpkins.
It could be flumpkins.
That's right.
Or
The
other Mango
Flumpkining.
Ranch pleasures.
But it's going to be a great
Remember-
show for those of you going to Patreon.
That's right. You can also check us out on Instagram, where you can see Ink's incredible images and other fun doodles that he does on there. Instagram at Cover
tasty.
Decoder. Please like, review, and follow us on whatever platform you're listening to. It helps us a whole heck of a lot, and we will be forever grateful to you. As always, have a wonderful night. And the cover portal away.
Happy Halloween! Keep your cows safe.